Today's show opens with a deep dive into one of the most talked about storylines circulating around the Cowboys: the ongoing situation with George Pickens, his future in Dallas, and how national insiders, especially at ESPN, are beginning to shape expectations for the upcoming offseason. Over the past week, ESPN released an early set of 2026 free agent rankings, placing Pickens at number 4 overall, a sign of just how valuable league analysts believe he has become. Dan Graziano emphasized an important point: unless things take an unexpected turn, the expectation remains that the Cowboys will at least use the franchise tag on Pickens. This fits everything we've discussed over the last several months. The Cowboys can afford the tag, they've been extremely pleased with Pickens' production, and they're not prepared to let a premier young receiver walk in the middle of a competitive window. Graziano noted that many of the highest-profile names never actually reach the market because their teams choose contract extensions or tags long before March even arrives. Pickens appears to be in that exact category for Dallas, meaning the Cowboys front office is already planning around keeping him in the building for 2025 and beyond. As this Pickens conversation has gained momentum, a second storyline has unexpectedly grown online: CeeDee Lamb versus George Pickens, a social media-created debate that has quickly turned bizarre. Despite Lamb not having the elite, all-world production he set last season, something he himself has acknowledged, the framing of the Cowboys' future as if they must choose one between Lamb and Pickens is simply not grounded in reality. The Cowboys' offense is structured around multiple high-level receiving threats, not a single focal point. Even in a season where Lamb's numbers are not matching his own lofty expectations, the idea that Dallas would purposely thin out their receiving room contradicts their offensive identity, their cap strategy, and the larger goals of maintaining depth around Dak Prescott. Both Lamb and Pickens play fundamentally different roles, bring different skill sets, and serve different scenarios within the offense. The Cowboys' cap outlook has always assumed that they would retain at least 2 top-tier receivers, and Pickens' probable tag aligns with that approach. The social media debate may be entertaining, but it misunderstands how the Cowboys structure their roster, value their pass catchers, and build around their quarterback. Switching gears, one of this week's most practical football questions involves rookie RB Jaydon Blue and whether he will be active against the Raiders. Blue has generated excitement with his versatility, burst, and the flashes he showed in limited opportunities, but the Cowboys have been deliberate about easing him into the rotation. With the Raiders' defense struggling at times to contain dynamic runners, this matchup presents a scenario where Blue could realistically see an expanded role, especially in packages designed to test the edges and widen the defensive front. The coaching staff has been cautiously optimistic, and although no firm guarantee has been made, the internal expectation is that Blue is trending toward being used situationally. Whether that translates to a full workload remains to be seen, but signs point to him being involved to some extent. The coaching carousel rumor mill has also heated up in dramatic fashion as questions have begun circulating about Mike McCarthy's future and the possibility of him being targeted by the New York Giants as their next head coach. While this storyline remains speculative, it has sparked intense discussion. The Giants are expected to explore multiple leadership options this coming offseason, and McCarthy's track record, his experience, playoff resume, and offensive background naturally place him as a name worth watching. However, several layers complicate this rumor: McCarthy's current focus on stabilizing the Cowboys season, the ongoing evaluation of Dallas' own coaching future, and the fact that the Giants' organizational direction remains unclear. For now, it remains an external rumor rather than something originating from inside Cowboys headquarters, but as the season progresses and the coaching market begins to clarify, this topic will likely grow louder. A more heartfelt moment from today's show centers on the Marshawn Kneeland Memorial Fund, an initiative that has resonated powerfully within the Cowboys community and beyond. The fund serves as a tribute to Kneeland's legacy, offering support for families and causes he cared deeply about. Details of the memorial efforts have circulated widely, with players, fans, and local organizations contributing to honor his memory. It's a reminder of how football communities rally together in moments of loss, forming a space for healing and solidarity. The support for the fund has been described as both overwhelming and inspiring, reinforcing how much Kneeland meant to those around him. Shifting back to roster news, the Cowboys announced that Malik Hooker's 21-day practice window has officially opened, a significant development for the defense. Hooker's return gives Dallas added range and experience in the secondary, strengthening a back end that has faced inconsistencies at times this season. Opening the practice window does not guarantee immediate activation, but it does signal that Hooker is progressing well and could be on track to return in the near future. The Cowboys have the flexibility to evaluate him, monitor his conditioning, and determine the best timing for reintegration into game action. Given Hooker's leadership and ability to cover ground in center field roles, his presence would be a major boost as Dallas approaches critical late-season matchups. Bringing everything together, the overarching story of today's episode revolves around the Cowboys navigating a complex landscape of expectations, roster decisions, and midseason narratives. The Pickens-Lamb discussion, while inflated by online debate, highlights the importance of understanding the team's long-term offensive philosophy. The Jaydon Blue situation points to the ongoing evaluation of young talent. The McCarthy-Giants rumor illustrates how coaching dynamics can shift quickly in the NFL. The Kneeland Memorial Fund underscores the human side of the sport. And Hooker's return window signals a potential defensive reinforcement at a crucial time. This blend of rumors, analysis, and updates paints a picture of a Cowboys franchise balancing immediate goals with long-term vision, staying competitive on the field while staying mindful off it. The Dallas Cowboys just made a quick roster move after losing offensive lineman Jaron Christian to the Broncos. Dallas wasted no time signing Marcellus Johnson, a former Eastern Michigan and Missouri lineman who has bounced around the NFC East. He now joins the Cowboys practice squad, giving them a much-needed depth option in the trenches. It's not a flashy signing, but it's a smart, stabilizing pickup after losing a veteran tackle. Meanwhile, the Justin Simmons rumors are heating up again in Dallas. With Malik Hooker on IR and the Cowboys secondary leaking big plays, the idea of adding a two-time Pro Bowl safety suddenly makes sense. Simmons isn't exactly in his prime, but his coverage numbers last season were still strong, and he could bring steady leadership to a defense that desperately needs discipline and experience. On the offensive side, George Pickens has been unstoppable this season, but his 2026 free agency window is creeping closer. If anything goes wrong between Pickens and the Cowboys, Jerry Jones could look elsewhere. One name that makes sense is Colts receiver Alec Pierce. Built like a prototype deep ball weapon, Pierce brings size, vertical explosiveness, and insane yards per catch production. He's not Pickens, but he fits the mold of what Dak Prescott loves in a vertical threat. And in even better news, linebacker DeMarvion Overshown is finally back on the field. After recovering from multiple ligament tears, the Cowboys are expected to keep him on a pitch count, something Brian Schottenheimer believes is crucial for his long-term health. Still, with this defense bleeding yards and struggling to get stops, Overshown's energy and sideline-to-sideline burst could be exactly what the unit needs right now. Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Is Marcellus Johnson a real depth piece or just a stopgap? Would Justin Simmons actually fix the secondary, or is the problem bigger than one veteran addition? Could Alec Pierce ever replace Pickens' deep B? The Dallas Cowboys are back in the spotlight, and this week's headlines are loaded with potential moves that could reshape the roster. After weeks of speculation, two key names are finally making their return: DeMarvion Overshown and rookie corner Siobhan Revel. Overshown's comeback is especially emotional for Cowboys fans. The first player in franchise history to wear number 0, he's battled through multiple ACL tears and is now ready to show the world what unfinished business really looks like. Meanwhile, Revel's potential emergence could add much-needed depth to a secondary that's been tested all season long. But the big question remains, will the Cowboys go all in on free agency to patch up their weak spots? One major name still available is Justin Simmons, a proven Pro Bowl safety who brings both leadership and elite playmaking. With the Cowboys secondary struggling for consistency, Simmons could instantly elevate the defense, if Dallas can convince him to come aboard. Then there's the possibility of a Stephon Gilmore reunion. The Cowboys' pass defense currently ranks near the bottom of the league, and Gilmore already proved last season that he still has plenty left in the tank. A short-term deal could bring veteran stability and much-needed confidence to the cornerback group. On offense, Dallas might also explore bolstering its backfield with Gus Edwards. While Javonte Williams continues to lead the ground attack, the lack of reliable depth could become an issue down the stretch. Edwards' power-running style might be exactly what the team needs as insurance against injuries. Fire Cowboys Nation, it's your turn. Keycap 1. Are you hyped to see DeMarvion Overshown finally debut in the star and make history wearing number 0? Keycap 2. Should Dallas go all out to sign Justin Simmons, even with a high price tag? Keycap 3. Would bringing back Stephon Gilmore fix the struggling pass defense, or just be a nostalgia move? Keycap 4. And is Gus Edwards the right fit as RB insurance behind Javonte W? The Dallas Cowboys are quietly setting up one of the most strategic salary cap rebuilds in the entire NFL. While fans are focused on game day results and off-season rumors, Jerry and Stephen Jones have been preparing a long-term financial plan that could completely reshape this team's future. According to insider reports, the Cowboys have the ability to free up nearly $93 million in cap space heading into 2026, and that's before any major cuts or trades even happen. This isn't about panic or desperation. It's a move of control, timing, and power, something the Cowboys have been planning since the day they restructured Dak Prescott's original deal and drafted their current young core. When you break down how the team got here, everything starts with the front office vision. The Cowboys have always believed in building around a small circle of core stars: Dak Prescott at quarterback, CeeDee Lamb as the face of the offense, Tyler Smith anchoring the line, and Darren Bland emerging as a homegrown defensive weapon. Those players are the foundation, and their contracts were carefully built with future restructures in mind. What that means is simple: when the time is right, Dallas can convert salary into signing bonuses, spread the hit across multiple seasons, and suddenly open massive financial breathing room without losing any of its core players. It's a move the front office designed years ago, and now, in 2025, that plan is about to unfold. If the Cowboys pull the trigger, these restructures could unlock close to $93 million in cap space for 2026. Dak Prescott alone would free up nearly $31 million. CeeDee Lamb's contract could open another $19 million. Tyler Smith's adjustment would save around $17 million, while defenders like Osa Odigizua and Darren Bland would add another $20 million combined. Add Jake Ferguson's restructure, and suddenly, the Cowboys have built themselves a financial war chest that could completely redefine their next era. These numbers are more than math. They're proof that the Jones family has been quietly constructing one of the smartest cap plays in football. But of course, the Cowboys' offseason isn't just about